It's your puppy's first night home. But your puppy is so little and so fragile, and the last thing you want to do is break your new little puppy. But on the other hand, you want them to be independent and confident. Let's talk about tips on what to do when you first bring your puppy home. Raven is my new Border Collie puppy. He's so adorable and sweet, and I want to do all the right things to make him become a happy, confident, and flexible dog. But obviously, this isn't all going to happen on his very first night with me. If your pup has just left their litter, then don't forget that they are literally a baby. And even though we might want to teach them independence, they also need to feel nurtured and safe when they first arrive in a new home. In my opinion, that's the most important thing when we first meet each other. On the very first night, you can rest assured that giving your dog a bit of extra comfort is not going to do your dog harm. A crate is one of the safest places for a pup to sleep. If your pup is small, then sometimes a smaller crate is a good way to start. Crates are generally safe, but some crates have wire or spaces. I've had this crate with many different dogs, but my new pup actually got his mouth stuck in this wire. So I switched him to another crate with smaller openings and no wire. Puppies get cold fairly easily, so I like to put some cotton bedding and towels in my crate. Keep in mind that your puppy could chew this, so keep an eye on how your puppy interacts with whatever you put in his crate. Watch for materials that can catch on his paws or have loops or holes. Puppies can get into trouble pretty easily. If you're close by on the first night, then you'll be able to know how your puppy is doing inside the crate. How long can you leave your puppy the first day? Well, it depends. There's no right and wrong answer, and every situation will be different. But I will say that I left my pup for more than 2 hours within the first 2 days, and it was really hard to settle him down later. You will eventually leave your dog longer and longer periods, but in the very first days, you'll want your puppy to feel safe and at home. Meeting other pets. It can be overwhelming for your puppy to meet new and unfamiliar pets, and it can also be overwhelming for your other pets. It's really important that you give all your pets distance from one another until you know that they will safely interact. This can mean keeping your pup in an X-pen, keeping other dogs in a separate space, or physically separated at first. Puppies will sometimes rush up to new dogs and cats, and that can result in a bad or even dangerous experience. Never force pets to meet face to face. Skeen was quite concerned about the new puppy, and though he normally sleeps in my room, he actually slept upstairs the first night. Keegan was a bit worried about the puppy at first and may have tended to watch him constantly if I had allowed that. After a couple of days, Keegan stopped worrying. Puppies can get a bit exuberant in ways that an older dog will not always appreciate, so interaction should always be supervised. Even if the pets seem to like each other and get along, keep the first few interactions short, or you could have a very hyper and overstimulated puppy. Short and sweet is the way to meet. The first night, don't expect a regular sleep. If your pup has just left his litter, he may cry. Pups have to relieve themselves a lot, even every 2 hours or so. And the first night, I was up about 3 times. Know where you want your dog to potty in the night and be prepared to take your dog out on leash. Also make sure they have access to water. They may get thirsty. After they've gone out, put them back in the crate calmly and gently without fuss. Eventually you will find a rhythm, but the first night your pup may need several potty outings. And on that note, don't overdo your pup's meals the first day. If there's a change in food, your pup's tummy may get upset, and the stress of changing homes will also contribute to that. Try to find out what they've been eating and start with something the same or similar if you possibly can. If your puppy has been outside, has pottied, has had water and a bit of food, and they're still crying, they may just need some comfort from you. Remember that over time, we can move the crate further away and your dog can be encouraged to become independent. But when we ourselves were new babies and we cried, we often needed something. Food, drink, diaper change, gentle reassurance. We didn't just immediately buck up and learn to handle everything on our own. Baby dogs are similar in this way. Once your dog has had a bit of food, water, and has pottied, they'll be less likely to continue crying. Watch too for any abnormal scratching or signs of discomfort. These are issues that you would take up with your vet. If your pup isn't settling down, I would also suggest relaxing and calm music, which can help dogs of all ages to relax. Another thing that helped me with my pup going to sleep was I noticed he had snuggled up to one of his stuffed toys and went to sleep like that. Putting a couple of fuzzy stuffed toys that are safe for dogs in the crate with him can be reassuring to your young pup. Although you don't want to overdo food the first night, sometimes using something like a hoof with some frozen tripe or whatever food your dog has been eating will give them something to focus on. Putting your puppy to bed with a Topple food dispenser or a hoof with just a small amount of something he finds tasty can be comforting to him. Or even scatter a tiny bit of food inside the crate. Good luck and have fun with your puppy! For the first few days with your puppy, I have some ideas of things you can do that will help to build a great relationship for the future. These are helpful games that you can also do with dogs of any age. Watch for that right about here. Hope to see you there.